Alright, so today I'm going to be roasting all of your favorite manga and especially their communities as a whole. Fair warning, this video is heavily exaggerated and a lot of what I say is just blatantly false. It's only meant for us to truly laugh at each other. So let's get into it. Attack on Titan fans are the most self-contradicting group of virgins I have ever seen in my life. They think just because the author wrote down a couple of plot twists during his initial storyboarding process that he's one of the greatest authors of all time. Newsflash, he's not. But I don't even need to tell you guys this because you guys genuinely want to kill the guy. It feels like Attack on Titan fans can't just have a simple conversation without bringing the series up, either to slander it in the worst way possible just because the ending wasn't specifically written how they imagined it in their little wet dreams, or just to praise it to such a high degree that they prove that they know absolutely nothing about storytelling. Yeah, I said it. It's not a good manga. You guys will literally cry over the deaths of the most boring and uninteresting characters of all time. The only thing that Sasha, and I'm not even joking by the way, the only thing that she has ever done in the entire story of significance was eat a potato. And you guys actually cried at her death. The character deaths literally mean nothing, and by the way that you guys react to them, you'd think that you eat estrogen for breakfast every morning. But the biggest problem I have with you people isn't simply the delusion or the wannabe depression, but it's the fact that you spoil everything. I literally got a huge manga spoiler at the time when I was an anime only from an Instagram post that wasn't even Attack on Titan related. For the people who hate that ending so much, you guys sure love knocking on doors and spreading it like it's the gospel. I guess you guys have more in common with Mormons than just virginity after all. My Hero Academia. Yeah, I'm gonna just do what Masked Man did in his video and link a McDonald's job application in the description, alright? Just go ahead and fill that one out for me, alright? Dragon Ball. You guys just don't read. Like, you actually don't read. Each and every single one of you guys is like Floyd Mayweather. You only think about strength and fighting, and you can't read a single page out of Cat in the Hat. The only difference between him and you is that he actually touches grass once a week and his weight doesn't start with the number 3. I have literally seen people talk about how much they enjoy a fight, such as Naruto and Sasuke for example, and then a Dragon Ball guy comes in and you already know they're going to bring up the fact that neither of the combatants involved could beat Goku. Nobody likes this. It's annoying. The thing is, when you get two of these guys together, they're not going to be happy and hype up Goku with each other. No. They're just going to argue about power scaling within the series by themselves. Like, being a Dragon Ball fan is just a lose-lose situation. These guys will literally argue about, like granola versus vagina or something. I don't know, bro. For hours. Whoever actually enjoys this series probably reads it like a picture book. Not just because you can't read, but because the story is actually the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Characters get brought back to life every other chapter, completely eliminating tension. Character motivations are unrealistic and one-dimensional. The main character wants to be the strongest being in the universe, and the villain wants to destroy the universe for no reason. Every single arc, repeatedly. It's brain dead. The amount of goofy and completely unbelievable moments that happen are unreal. Remember when Vegeta's son from an alternate timeline came into the past using a time machine built by his MILF mother and then effortlessly killed the strongest villain in like 2 seconds? Yeah, that's horrendous writing. Now I'd like to talk about the One Piece and the Hunter x Hunter light novels. Oh, did I say light novels? I meant manga, my bad. I'd love to talk about both One Piece and the Hunter x Hunter manga, but these fandoms are actually so bad, it's honestly just beyond my pay grade. So I'm gonna leave it to somebody who actually gets paid.
Hunter x Hunter fans are so preoccupied on proving that their series is better than everything else that when Togashi came back, I saw more about Hunter x Hunter is real shonen and Hunter x Hunter is better than this over, hey, I'm just happy this human being has okay health again. Killua profile pictures are absolute AIDS and you should all die. Chrollo fans are so pretentious that whenever they get into any sort of philosophical talk, they always somehow bring it back to Chrollo. When it comes to toxicity in the anime fandoms, especially regarding shonen series, look no further than Hunter x Hunter. Now we move on to One Piece. Oh boy, where do I start? Y'all stink. Y'all actually smell horrible. And Hunter x Hunter fans are toxic, beyond toxic. One Piece fans can be as well. But more than anything, One Piece fans are just purely annoying. It's interesting to me how they manage to be super elitist without recognizing that they're elitist themselves. Because you take any sort of seinen series and say, oh yeah, I prefer it over One Piece, then you're an elitist. But as soon as you say you like Naruto or Bleach, then you're a meathead. Alright, I need y'all to pick. They swear on everything that Zoro's a brilliant character, even though he's one of the most bland and boring deuterogonists that I've seen in a minute. So much so that another character in the main cast of the Straw Hats has managed to be way better than him, and that's Sanji. A One Piece character's name could be Mr. Gloopus Goobus, and all because in his backstory he got hit in the nuts once, that he's an S tier character. As well as, my goodness, I have never seen a fanbase deep-throat an author so much. Oda is screwed because no woman could give him better head than the One Piece fandom. Honestly, like, it's my, look, I respect the consistency throughout all these years that Oda has been able to have releasing his series, but please stop pretending because he's more consistent in releasing his series that automatically makes him better than every other author, when at the end of the day what matters is the series itself. We can commend the work ethic, but at the end of the day what matters is what's actually put out there in the series.
To be honest, I could not have said that any better myself. Now let's talk about Jojo's fans. You guys are the largest group of closeted homosexuals I have ever met in my life. Your author tried to make a decent story 8 times and failed each one, miserably. The protagonists are bland and one-dimensional, and the character names are some of the laziest things I have ever seen. You uncultured swines love to bring up the fact that Araki names everything after music, but you've literally never listened to a single song by any of the artists in the stands. Do you genuinely believe that Araki actually listens to that either? Nah. He's just too lazy to think of any original names. Y'all really be arguing about characters named Funny Valentine, Andre Boom Boom, Queefalicious, Speedwagon, Sportsmax, and Jesus Christ. And the funny thing is about that list, I only made up one of those names. Let's talk about Ayashimon. Imagine your series being so bad that you get canceled after like 7 chapters, dude. That's actually pathetic. Speaking of pathetic, Hell's Paradise should have got canceled like Ayashimon. The power system somehow manages to be even more confusing than Nen, but is infinitely more boring. And the fan base is always comparing it to series like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. But really, that's just like comparing Jake Paul to Kendrick and Kanye. It doesn't even make any sense. Now, I would talk about Chainsaw Man, but let's just be real. You guys just do it to yourselves. As for redo of Healer, okay. I'm actually going to be 100% honest with you guys. This whole time I've been like exaggerating and, obviously joking around, right? But this time I'm like actually being 100% serious. Like I'm not joking at all. I only know one guy who's actually into this series and really likes it, and this guy tortures bugs and has a history of abusing animals. Like, I'm actually not joking. I mean that. And I think that tells you everything that you need to know about this series. Now let's talk about Tower of God. Your author can't choose between drawing his characters like he's on black tar heroin or writing his story like he's been smoking pounds of crack cocaine. When the art is terrible, he writes a decent story. And when the art is acceptable, he writes the most contrived filth I have ever read. Bomb will get a power-up from literally anything and then proceed to use it one time and then never again. Also, let's not forget that SIU and Togashi are constantly having a pissing contest to see who can create a more convoluted and simultaneously boring story and then just never finish it. Tower of God fans love talking about how their series is at the top of Webtoon, and then you look at the competition on the app and then realize quickly that Tower of God is only good for Webtoon standards. Very, very low standards. Also, the author that you guys love throating so much is actually racist. Yes, I said it, he's a racist. His name, SIU, stands for Slave in Uterus, implying that all black people, including myself by the way, have been slaves ever since birth. This is absolutely unforgivable behavior coming from the man who wrote a story so bad that I had to make an entire YouTube channel just to get people to actually like it. Also, your anime is bad and you're never getting a season 2. Everyone who reads or watches My Dress Up Darling is a pedophile. No exceptions. Speaking of pedophiles, Tokyo Revengers is one of the worst series I've ever had the misfortune of attempting to get into. The protagonist's motivation for doing literally anything is so that he, a man with a 25-year-old brain, can prolong a relationship with a minor. A middle schooler. I'm not even making this up, and you fans eat this up like yesterday's leftovers. It's as if every single one of you guys can personally relate to that, and it's actually disgusting. On top of that, the main character cries more than your mother after being rejected by the abortion clinic for severe obesity, and the only two halfway decent characters in the series are only decent because they're good fighters. No creativity, no good writing, just a really bad series overall. I'd rather watch Boku no Pico than Tokyo Revengers because at least the author gets straight to the point. Alright, that's all it for the video. Now, obviously, as I said in the beginning, this is extremely exaggerated. We don't actually think all of this stuff, so please leave a like on the video to help balance out the dislikes of the people who can't take a joke. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to my new manga channel, as there's going to be a part 2 of this video up on there next week. The link is in the description. I'm also going to be doing manga reviews, discussions, and recommendations, rankings, and more on that channel. And if you like webtoons, consider subscribing to this channel that you're watching on right now. I've got a ton of webtoon content on here, specifically Tower of God, but some variety as well. And I'm going to be reviewing every single chapter of Devoro, which is the Masked Man's manga, on this channel as well. So you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that. I'm even going to do character analysis and arc reviews and stuff on Devoro as well. So again, sub button right there. Additionally, I would like to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I've worked hard for this moment, but I wouldn't be able to achieve anything without the support from all you guys. And another huge thank you to the Masked Man for working with me on this video. You guys may not know this, but Masked has been my favorite content creator on YouTube for a while now. And even though our video topics may not be the most similar, he has been my #1 inspiration. And I've even had people commenting that they can see it. And honestly, the fact that he did this collab with me makes me genuinely very happy. And I would love to collab with him again if the opportunity ever arises. The Masked Man's channel is linked in the description, right above the McDonald's job application. Go show him some love, man. His content is amazing, and his manga is about to be some peak fiction. That's about it. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. Shout out to Olibinus for being a patron. An extra special shout out to Nicholas, Demon God Kane, and my newest patron, Gavin. Patreon is in the description, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.